Hello and welcome to Behind the Sink, episode 11. For all you guys who are joining us for the first time, this is a segment where we just casually chat with the industry people, where we chat everything about labels, music, nightlife, and the electronic music culture. For this episode, we have two DJ producers based out of Dubai, Rohan and Karim. Nice to have you guys. Thanks a lot for doing this. So a little bit about Rohan. I mean, feel free to later extend your introduction more. But Rohan's been in Dubai for, I think, 20 years now. And he's a resident DJ in many venues, mainly Barasti, Cuties, and recently now in Warehouse as well. Also a producer, he does his own take on the houseier side, a lot of minimal grooves, a lot of jazz influence. He's got a couple of aliases, which we're going to get into. And Karim, also been in the circuit for a while. I don't know how many years you've been here, but we'll get into that a little bit. Also DJ producer, Karim DJs a lot with a lot of cool promoters around UAE doing many parties. Also a producer and working his way into the techno circuit. Got a lot of releases again, which we're going to get into. This segment, we're just going to talk broadly about what goes on in their minds when they're producing and things like that. We're not doing anything technical because I feel all the videos are there for technical stuff, and I'm sure people can find out. So let's get into it, guys. First of all, thank you so much for taking your time off and doing this with us. My first question is, it's not a question. I'm just going to hand it over. We'll go one after the other. Just give us a little bit of insight of you as a DJ producer in Dubai. What are you doing? When you got into your producing and things like that, yeah?
Hi guys, I'm Rohan. I go by the name of Mango Funk. Produce mainly house, jazz house, some micro house with a jazz edge. That's about it. And anything housey, man. I mean, no borders. I've been here almost now you can say 18, 19 years. Yeah. And a couple of residencies all around, right from Zing to 2000, I don't remember, I think 5 or 6 or something, Zinc, and then from Zinc I jumped to Weston to Barasti to a very short residency at Nasimi and 360, and then back to Barasti. And for the longest time I've been at Barasti and Cutie, almost 12, 13 years. And 2011 is when I actually started producing. I used to produce under a different name. I used to do more. No. It was more deep tech kind of vibe. It completely changed after the last 3.5, 4 years. I've got a bit more jazzy, working with live musicians. Got a bit more housey. Yeah. Produced with Timmy Vegas, Roland Knights, City Soul Project, Caddy Bettis, working with a couple of producers from Europe and the US. Lots of releases coming up in post-November. All mainly Europe. Mainly Europe, and I really do stuff with US labels because the scene is mainly in Europe. I mean, the best labels come out from there. Let's be honest. Right now we released 2 EPs with one of the biggest deep house labels, legendary, Large Music. Had 2 top 20s with them. Before that, my first one was with Timmy Vegas, number 2, Track Source. After that, I had another number 2, which now went to number 1, copyright issues, and got down from Track Source. And I've just been producing. It's not about getting to number 1 or whatever. Right now, it's just about making the right music. I don't want too many releases. I just want to do the right releases with the right people I feel comfortable working with. That's my whole idea of making music. I work with a lot of live musicians. I'm working with some of the best jazz musicians from Dubai, right from Stoyan to Tonatio on trumpet, Paul Mutard, Yavor on flute and sax, very soon you'll hear some more stuff which is gonna come out. So I'm just yeah. Yeah. I played a couple of them. That's more jazzy, houseier. But then I got a bit more minimal micro. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So I've been here in Dubai like for 9 years, 8 years, 9 years. I actually started producing before I started DJing. Yeah, so like.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I've been a musician. I played guitar since like 15, 20 years.
wow, nice,
So I always wanted something in music.
nice.
Yeah, but it hadn't been clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You were earlier when we were talking. You were saying that you're an architect as well.
yeah, I'm an architect.
So yeah,
Too many
so,
things.
Yeah. So as you finished your architecture, did you think that music was the thing, or you got into architecture for a bit and then music?
No, actually, I wanted to be an architect. Like I liked it. I still like it, but I decided to like make a change of career like 2 years ago when I started like producing professionally.
Okay.
Wanted to do this like professionally.
Okay.
So yeah, I started around 2 years ago,
Okay.
and now I've been signed like with like 2, 3 of the most biggest techno
Tech
labels.
labels, yeah.
Codex.
Give us some of the
Codex,
labels that you have
IMTZ.
released with so far.
Codex,
Okay.
IMT, IM
Okay.
Techno, Phobek,
Yeah, your Fobag one was the last one, right?
yeah.
The recent one.
Yeah. And actually today I have a release on Sewat
Oh, nice. Okay.
Records. Yeah, mainly that.
Nice.
And actually last week I sent the track to Omek.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is his label?
1605.
1605.
Yeah, he replied he liked the track. I might sign him.
Is it single or EP?
A single.
Single.
Yeah.
Okay, for the compilation.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably.
nice. Since we have you on the mic, I mean, I just wanted to. So, what is your mind frame when you're getting into the studio? Is there like a right time? Is there a timetable, or you're like, oh, okay, I'm in the mood. I just want to jump in and get something.
Actually, ever since I quit my job as an architect, I had to do like a regular hours and like a day.
Oh, yes,
a day
okay, yes.
to be productive.
Yes. So the only time you get, I would assume, would be in the night or something. Like
No, actually, I wake up in the morning and I start working the more like 12 to 11 o'clock.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I sit like every day around 6, 7 hours.
So no matter what, you're up and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
on your computer and.
But of course, there's a lot of days.
Of course,
like
there's nothing.
Yeah, nothing
And
at all.
You just got to know when
nothing
to
at
quit.
all. Yeah.
You just got to know when to quit.
Yeah, exactly. I say there's nothing specific. Yeah,
Okay.
I just sit.
But
and
you
try
follow
and try
that
and
schedule.
try.
Every morning you're at your
Mostly,
computer. You're
mostly.
trying to get some work done.
Mostly.
This is your pattern.
Yeah.
And do you have a pattern?
Nothing, man. I'm just like, if I hear a track, I just copy some ideas from them. I'll go and sketch it, and that's about it. Sometimes I just jam, and the jam turns into a track. Because I play with a lot of hardware. To be honest,
Yes.
I don't use, the only plugin that I use is Omnisphere. I don't use any plugin. Or I may use a live musician to come and play on my tracks.
Okay.
Plus, I play keyboards and stuff. So sometimes it all depends. And I mean, I don't have a time frame.
So you
Earlier-
don't have what I'm trying to get at is there's no schedule. Like everybody has a 9 to 5 job. There's nothing like, okay, man, I'm getting into the studio at 11 p.m. for example.
No.
There's no schedule.
There's nothing like that. It's just that today I finish work, I'm really tired, but if I just hear a track, I need to go back and try and do something on Ableton.
Yeah.
Come up with something similar to that, or
Yeah.
come up with an idea.
Yeah.
Just sketch it and keep it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I've got like some 30, 40 tracks just lying there, a few
Yeah.
bars and just lying there.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm in the mood. I may complete a track in 1 hour. Sometimes it may take me 2 days. Sometimes it may take me a week.
Of
I
course,
mean,
of
there's
course,
no
of
time
course.
frame for me
Of course,
because
of course.
in the beginning when I was getting into music production, it was like, oh, I have to do this track now. One track, one release a month, and this and that.
Yeah.
But now it's not like that. Now it's like after all these years, I've said no. I want to do a particular track. It has to be like this.
Yeah.
And I want it to release on so and so label because the sounds of that label is like that.
Yeah.
So that's my way of now working.
Okay.
And plus, I'm working with a lot of like, all my new stuff is coming out with different producers from around Europe, US.
Okay.
The new stuff which is gonna come out in 2021.
Yeah.
I just hardly have a couple of my tracks of my own. Mainly, I've tried and used a lot of vocalists on my new tracks.
Okay.
But most of the stuff what I'm doing is I've worked with live musicians. I've taken those stems and sent it to the guys. They send it back to me, and
I was just going to get into it since you said that you work a lot with live musicians and you have a lot of things. I was just going to ask you, what is your how do you manage that? I mean, are you okay? I guess you just answered that, but maybe if you want to get into it a little more. So what? You just make a kind of a groove, you send it to them, or you bring them in, make them listen to it, and then jam at home? Because I know you have a pretty kick-ass studio, which we will get into.
It all depends. Now, sometimes if I want to record guitars and stuff, and I'll call the guy home, just record a particular part, and that's about it. Sometimes I have to go to the.
And do these guitars? Do you know what you want from them, or you're just saying,
I know exactly. No.
You know.
So basically, I'll make them a couple of tracks, and I'll tell them this
reference.
is what. Reference tracks. I'll tell them this is what I want.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them you just freestyle. I'll take like 4-5 takes.
Okay.
And then edit, whatever, and use the best parts. Some as well, like when I'm recording with Stoyan, I need to go to his studio because he's got a kick-ass studio for recording trumpets and. Stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a guy. I don't have to be honest, I don't have like a proper soundproof studio to record vocals and mic. So I go to his studio. I work with him a lot.
But sometimes I think that when you that little bit of that ambience sometimes works well for electronic music. No, when you don't have a proper studio. I don't know.
It used to be like that.
I feel.
When I just had like one keyboard and a minimal setup, I used to record all my stuff on that.
Cool.
Now it's like. You've got everything, but you're still not happy. You want like a proper studio to record some stuff now. Yeah, that's that. I mean, you want it the right way.
Yeah.
It just builds upon you. Yeah.
Okay, while we have you on the mic, so how do you start your track? Do you like have a pattern that you follow? For example, some people say I start off with the drums, whatever. Or some people say I start off with the a groove, or I start off with getting the main synth pattern.
Main is I start with pads and melody.
Oh, you start okay.
Yeah, pads, melody. From there, I'll jump to the bass line. These are my 3 first elements.
Okay.
Then I kick off with what kind of groove I want to use on that, how I want to take the track in which direction.
Okay.
That's about it. I mean, and then if I want to introduce like maybe a vocalist. Or maybe if I try and avoid using samples.
So for you, it would be the melodies first.
My melody comes first because my thing is I'm sitting and jamming there on the machine. Or I'm playing my keyboards, and I come up with something. I'll just say put a kick, and I'll come up with something at 120, and I'll start jamming.
Okay.
And from there, I don't know in which direction I'm going.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I just wanted to know where you.
So my thing is the keys.
When you open your software, what is the first thing that you
keys?
do?
So one thing I put on my machine, and I put on my MIDI keyboards.
Yeah.
I put on, and then after that I've got all monophonic keyboards. I don't have like a proper polyphonic.
Yeah.
So I start using Omnisphere to get the chords coming out. I start using machine to get the chords because machine's got like a thing where you can like play around with different chords. And I've got a new thing coming in maybe in a week or two. It's called Chordball.
Okay.
It's from a company from Florida, Isla.
Okay.
So you can play around with any kind of chord sequence you want on that through MIDI or through keyboards. Yeah.
And you? How do you go about your?
What I do is I open a template that I did. It's mainly a kick, rumble kick, reverb kick.
I was just going to say the difference between the thing is I have to start with my kick. And then bass line, and then I will go to
because I think especially in techno, the kick is the core thing. Techno heads.
So that's why
I come from a more
so that's why I wanted to get you.
Because if you listen to my tracks, it's like hardcore 7 minors. I'm using a lot of minors, and I mean it's hardcore chord progression, which I'm totally into. That's my way.
So you open the template.
So I have a kick sample, regular kick sample. It should be the final result. I can change it later.
Yeah.
But then and some hi-hats.
Yeah.
And then I start building percussions to get the groove.
Yeah.
Then if there is a bass line or something, then I think the last thing is if there is a melody or a hook or something.
The more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but getting that kick and bass line to sit perfectly
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
key,
yeah,
right?
exactly, definitely.
It's the key and
Yeah,
in techno.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
you
the key
need
of the bass line and the kick has to be the same key.
not
No,
only key.
not the key, like the
In
equalize,
the spectrum,
yeah, spectrum, exactly.
in the spectrum, the where is that kick ending, where is the
The
bass,
bass starting, yeah.
is so important
Yeah.
because, like he was saying, it's that feel, right? That techno, like when you press that play, if it's a track that's straight away kicking in, it just that.
You need to feel the kick,
That
like,
has to-
yeah, on your face.
That's, I would say, 65% of your job. Once
Yeah.
people are going, whoa, and
That's it.
that's it.
That's a hook. That's a hook. Yeah.
Bass line and the kick.
yeah. Getting it right, getting to sit right
Yeah, yeah.
on this on the spectrum. So then
Definitely.
you have this template. You gradually build it, and this.
Well, then it end up like as a new track, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, and do you like find yourself sometimes? I'm sure you do. Where you're sitting at it and you don't know where to go from here, and then what happens after that? You scrap that. Or
No,
you-
I just keep
you
trying and
just keep
yeah,
trying.
looping, trying different things, different sounds
Okay.
until I
What is the
find thing.
longest time where you've come to a kind of a
Block?
writer's block
Yeah.
and it's not worked and
Probably 1 week, 2 week.
okay,
Yeah.
but you're still at it. You're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
at it. You're not like
Actually-
okay, scrap this. I'll
No,
start a new
actually-
project and come back to this.
Actually, I've never like even now I never have or had an uncompleted project.
Okay.
I always
you try and
complete-
finish
I always
off.
complete
That was one of
everything.
my questions where
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys what is the ratio of start to complete.
I've got so many tracks just lying there, incomplete and complete. Just lying there. It's just lying there. So
there.
So I approached Adam, just help me. I just want to put that out of back.
Yeah, actually, we're going to get into that. In independent releases versus label releases, and we'll talk about that later. And so, what's the most important piece of gear that you have with you that you feel? Whether it is a software, VST,
okay.
or it's hardware.
Okay.
What is that you feel that if it was, like, okay, man, this has to be there. Only then it's
Probably Ableton Push for now, yeah, because I don't use like a MIDI controller. I use like a keyboard MIDI controller.
Okay.
I use Ableton Push, and the most VST I use for now is Diva from Yuhi.
yes.
I love it.
And Serum.
Superb. Yeah.
And Serum, yeah.
Such a cool sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's yours?
Omnisphere.
All your tracks have Omnisphere?
No. Most basically some sounds, but most of my bass lines I try and program it on the 3-3. And now my new thing is most of my tracks I'm trying to get a bass player. I've found a new bass player, kick-ass. So kind of
You
very
try
funky.
to incorporate a lot more live.
Live with
Yeah.
Basically, just what you'll hear mainly is maybe a sequence is recorded live, maybe from a keyboard, from my Moogs, or maybe from Omnisphere. But rest of my stuff, mainly what you hear on tracks, is all live. And my drums, of course, my drums are programmed on Ableton live.
Okay.
That's my stuff, and I use partly hardware, partly Ableton. A couple
Built-in-
of built-in.
built-in
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean I mix match, and sometimes if I like some sample, I chop the sample off and try and rearrange
Rework
it. And
it.
it's nothing. I don't have a specific.
By the
say.
way, do you have you like he was saying he's a musician.
Yeah.
Are you a musician before?
I studied music for years.
So you
years.
can,
Yeah.
You can like literally.
I
Play
used to
chords
play.
and-
Yeah. I used to play in a band, and then I got out of the band, and immediately when I got out, I studied
What
guitar.
were you playing in the band?
I was playing keyboards and guitar.
Oh wow.
In boarding school, I was in school. Boarding school, I used to play drums.
Okay.
From drums, I got a guitar. From guitar, I picked up the keyboards.
Yeah.
And I studied guitar for around 5-6 years, and that's it. And the keyboard just comes in.
Nice.
It just comes in. Yeah.
So I mean, and I'm sure both of you are going to have a different. I don't know. Maybe it's the same answer. I don't know. Do you think in the electronic music scene that is today, you need to have your own unique sound, or for example, I'll tell you why I'm coming to this. For example, if you take certain producers now, I think it's them even without.
Yeah.
I don't even have to know oh, this is the artist or this is the label. I already know that this is the sound. So do you think that is important as a producer, or changing it around, doing your thing?
Not really, because to be honest, I mean, if I like, I mean, sound keeps changing every year.
For sure.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm talking
like,
even in that year.
Like
for
when,
example,
when I came out with Mango Funk, it was mainly new disco house.
For example, okay, let's go with Mango
Yeah.
Funk. Mango Funk had a certain vibe to it, right?
Yeah, vibe. And then
Now, all Mango Funk tracks, you're trying to replicate that vibe?
No,
That's
now
what I'm
I've got
asking.
into a whole jazz house direction. Now
Okay.
from jazz house, I've got into a whole micro jazz house kind of vibe.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm kind of changing my vibes. I just recently, 2 months ago, I
And
released a
what
track.
makes this change? Forget I know music is evolving.
Yeah.
I'm saying within that period, what is making you change it?
Basically, see, when I DJ, it depends on my sets. If I'm doing afternoon set, it's mainly more,
Okay, so
more of the lighter
you're-
stuff.
you're-
So I'm more into I'm playing right from new disco. I'm playing soulful house. From soulful house, I'm jumping depending on my sets. Sometimes I play a little heavy stuff. It all depends from set to set. So I'm listening to so many genres that at the end of the day, I don't want to really stick to one kind of style in house music, not in anything heavy.
yeah.
So
you're basically taking off your influence based on your DJ sets, and suddenly you're playing the
Yes.
afternoon set, and you're like, hey man, why don't I make this one?
Yeah. Like basically, I've ripped off old disco sample, and I think it's getting released in Jan, I think. And I've made a very kind of it's not new disco, more of like a filtered disco house coming out in Jan.
Okay.
On a label.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have any. Oh, I'm going to stick to this style or whatever. If I like something, I go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I go for
Do
it.
you have what is your thoughts on that? Do you think that you have to maintain?
I don't know. For me, I think it comes like I don't know. I think it comes naturally
Okay.
because
No, what I'm asking is,
yeah.
is there a Karim sound?
For like now, it's developing, and I guess it will be.
And you
will
want
be
to
there.
pursue that?
Yeah.
Like, for example,
Yeah.
You want it to be like, okay, man, if somebody plays a track, they need to know
Yeah,
without even looking at my name.
but still, I'll be doing like for now. I do techno, minimal techno, melodic techno.
Okay.
But in the end, they should be like all have this
that uniqueness.
small thing.
So you think
yeah.
that's important to carry that uniqueness?
For me, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Some of the techno guys, if you see, you will know their sound.
Yeah.
Okay. After a time, you will know that this is this label. You will know that this is this.
This guy.
I'm talking the bigger guys, right? The guys who are well established and things like that. That's why I wanted to ask you.
For example, if you talk of right now one of the hottest producers, Chris Tussie. He started off playing deep house, and today he's producing micro house. He's put that sound up there.
This whole genre is a whole different.
It's a
ball
different-
game, you know? What people call deep house, for example, in India, some people call deep house something. My idea of deep house is completely different than what they call it.
Yeah.
It's such a it's bigger. It's like, okay, man, we just do house and techno because there's what I don't know. How do you dissect that? Because
But if you listen to most of the old producers who were doing deep house, they've all got into this whole micro scene, man. Micro house scene. And it's like a new. I mean, I'm hooked on that sound. I'm really hooked on that sound. I heard it last year when I was in London, and I've just been hooked on it. And even today when I did the podcast for Adam, it's like I played a lot of that stuff, man. I just played a lot of that. So I played a couple of my tracks which are like kind of jazzy, and then I got just into that phase.
I mean, now I want to get into a little bit of that whole arrangement part, right? Now we've gone to ideas, we've put down the idea and all that. And this, I correct me if I'm wrong, arrangement and mix down is the most important
Exactly. That's true.
element of the
That's
track,
true,
right?
of
No matter
course.
what ideas you have, if your arrangement
It's boring or
it's lost, right?
Yeah.
So, what is your workflow when you're doing your arrangements? Let's go arrangement first, and then let's go to mix down.
Okay, arrangement I usually have no steps. It goes
Just a feel.
Just how I feel the track.
Yeah.
If should be like a small break here or like the big breakdown here there, whatever the main drop, second drop.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no
set thing.
No.
Okay, at this point there's a long. No, you feel if you would advise people, correct again. Would I be correct by saying that you're saying just go with with
The
vibe.
flow of the track, yeah, for the
yeah.
track.
So
yeah.
it's not necessary that at
No,
3
no, no,
minutes
no.
there has to be a break.
Nothing.
Nothing
There's
is
no
set.
rules. Like,
Of
there's no
course,
rules
there's
in
no
electronic
rules.
music.
Yeah, this is something that many people have to understand.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
there is
definitely.
no rules.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
You can do whatever you want.
I just
Yeah.
know the feel.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no.
And I don't really hold this has to be this. I hold the kick has to be here. Now there's a big debate going on about giving your tracks up minus 6 dB, which is Hans. What's his name? Hans Page or whatever.
Yeah.
He said, no, man. It's absolutely. You can give your tracks out for mastering the way you want it.
Okay.
You don't really have
Oh,
to
I
stick
see.
to the.
I didn't know this.
No,
Okay.
I read a write-up about him
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, you don't have to stick to minus 6 or minus 4. What engineers tell you to. Just go out there, give it a track, and they'll do the job." But I don't know. I mean, I still to be on the safe side. I still stick to minus 6.
I think all the mastering.
I still
guys
stick. Yeah, I still
expect
stick
you
to
do
minus
minus
6.
6, yeah.
But you see this guy, man. He's got like the most wicked studio in the world, and he's like the talk of town right now. He's just did a new studio in Germany.
Yeah.
And I've been following his kind of stuff, but it's too heavy for us to understand because he's using a lot of analog gear,
Okay.
which is completely for mastering. I'm talking for mastering. He's using, and even for when he makes his tracks, he's like talking all antique, such expensive gear. I mean, and he makes sense at the same time. I don't know who to go with. I don't know who to. It's a big debate. It's going to be a debate for years.
There's going
man.
to be many different write-ups coming
Yeah,
for
yeah.
different things and things. So how do you do your mix down? I mean, what
I don't usually like do the mix down in the end. I mix
A rough.
as I go. I always mix.
okay.
As I always
Mix down.
mix.
You,
Yeah.
you adapt, you change it around,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
push
yeah.
this up, you push
Yeah,
that
exactly.
up, and then finally.
And then like tweak.
Yeah.
Some small stuff, and that's it.
Do you do your final? Different people have different ways of working.
I do my
your
mixing.
Final, when you're hearing the track,
Yeah.
is it that your headphones is your final okay, or is it
Yeah,
your studio?
I actually do like 3 headphones, studio, and car.
Car, yeah. yeah. Cars, the car check,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cars check.
Because
Yeah.
that's when I actually want to feel the track.
Exactly.
When
Yeah.
I do a track, I only hear it in the car.
Exactly.
Sounds great in the car. Then
It sounds not great most probably everywhere else.
no headphone, no studio speaker,
Yeah, yeah.
expensive studio speaker. What do you got?
The car. Yeah.
In the car is the
Yeah,
final.
definitely.
But you've come.
And opinions. Maybe I'll send a track to a friend or two and ask.
Yeah, of
them.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe get their feedback. So they tell
Yeah,
us what
definitely.
works.
What is missing, and but it's also key to figure out who these 3 people are. Otherwise you'll be going around in circles.
So basically, everyone gives a different opinion. Then at the end of the day, you got to take one and say, "Oh, let's stick to it."
Yeah.
So your mix down, you're doing it constantly.
Until the end of the track.
Track,
Yeah. And then in the end, I mix it properly and like tweak some stuff. I mix it properly, and then the mastering guy yeah.
takes it off, and
I make a demo master actually to send the labels.
Okay.
Because the label need to hear
Hear
it
it as
mastered.
a mastered,
So
okay.
yeah, I do like a demo mastering.
Okay.
And then when it's signed,
Then you send it out
yeah.
with the minus,
or the
minus
label.
6 dB.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's your workflow like? I mean, your mix down.
My mix down is done. Basically, I'm not great at mixing. Let's be honest.
Yeah, me too.
So I've got Jai who I help.
yeah.
Or normally I send it to. I'll send it to a couple of people in London. London,
I'm not that.
I'm not
good
great
on
at
my
mixing. I'll be
mix
honest
downs
because
as well, so.
whatever I do, even if I sit there 10 times, I'm still not happy deep within.
Yeah.
So then I got to catch someone and okay, how is this? So even after he does it, then I'll bounce the stems and I'll send it to the UK. I'll send it to. I've got like 2 or 3 people on there. I'll send it to them and then, of course, they'll mix it down and then they'll master it. So there's Nigel. He was part of the.
But what I'm trying to get at is it's different. Like for example, right over here, there's you and me, and I'm
never happy with. I'll be honest with you.
I always like to get my mix down done by somebody else because I don't know if I'm
Same here.
there yet.
Same here.
For my mix downs in terms of I just started producing from 2015, so I am
Same here.
very new. So I still feel because like I said, the most important is the arrangement and the mix down, and if that is not there, then we fall flat. We fall flat in.
I used to work on Logic. I was like very comfortable mixing down on Logic, and last 4 years, I think, I jumped to Ableton. I'm not really comfortable mixing in Ableton. It's got a different kind of look to it, and I feel kind of very. I feel like I'm missing something, mixing on Logic and Ableton. So the best way is I give it to a friend of mine and I tell him, okay, dude, help me out. Let me mix it down. And he's helped me with most of my stuff, Jay. Jay helps me with most of my mix downs, to be honest. Or now it's like, I take the project, I put drums on one, I put bass, I put synths on one, and I send it to the guys. They mix it down and then they master it and stuff, and it's like you pay extra, but at the end of the day, the
result is really
the result
good.
is great.
That is what is
because
most
my
important,
whole idea is the arrangement part of it and the final outcome. But then the mix down is that's not my. I'll be honest. I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
I think it's fine as long as that's what I'm saying. It's the most important thing. And if you're taking in a different, somebody else who's maybe he's got a better ear for it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? I mean, I'm not like I'm still learning even now in Ableton. Every day I go up there and I'm still learning so much of stuff, man. It's like it's never ending. Today I learn something, tomorrow someone else come up on some YouTube or whatever channel, oh, you got to do this way. Then someone else will come and speak, oh, you got to do the bass this way, you got to do the side chain this way. It never ends, man. And then you don't know exactly where you want to go, this direction. So the best thing is you get someone who will do the mix down for you, and then you kind of be there, okay, now this is what I want, this is the sound, and that's it.
Reduce this, increase that. Let's step away and check out into. So now your tracks are ready, and this is the big question. A lot of young producers out there, even I still do. I mean, of course, I run Kitchen Sink. One of the main reasons is to put out my music. So, but if you were to approach a label, how would you go about it? What is the protocol to approach a label?
So the protocol is like we usually find the demo EP for the demo email for this label, and it's usually easy, especially techno labels.
Do these guys get back to you when you don't know them, or do you have to know these guys?
You don't have to know them. No, most of them get back to you, and but if even though if they don't like the tracks,
they get back.
Yeah, but some labels, if they like that, they will get back to you. If they don't like the EP, they don't reply.
Yeah. So then you know automatically.
Yeah. But you can see on SoundCloud. Okay, so you send them a link, private link, SoundCloud private link.
So tell me something. Do you send? Let's say you're approaching 10 labels.
Okay.
You're sending a
one by
private
one.
SoundCloud link to each.
Yes.
Or you sending one SoundCloud link which is private and you're sharing that.
No. I don't think I don't send to like too many labels one time. I send one label.
Okay.
If no, I send to the other label. If
okay.
No,
Okay. Oh, okay. So what is your cutoff? What is your cutoff time? Like you said, they don't even get back, right? So how long do you wait?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. If you don't hear from them, you're moving on to the next.
Even if they didn't listen, so that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Then you just move on.
Yeah.
And that link is still active, or you now?
No, the different link.
You're sending
each
a different
label
link.
because like the label when the label listen, it needs to be like 0 plays.
Yeah.
And download the downloadable link. Yeah.
So this is important. Yeah. The 0 plays have to be there. You cannot afford to send links that have got like 40. I don't know.
Some labels get pissed.
Because, they get very pissed off. They don't want. They won't even check it.
No.
Right? They won't even check it. So do you like have a cover letter with this, or like your email?
No, hi, this is Karim, blah blah blah, DJ, producer, lives in.
And you have
short bio and signed with this label and this label.
Yeah.
I have a new EP.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah. One thing, what we find a lot of people sending us demos to Kitchen Sink is that they don't research the label.
That's
and
common.
This is the biggest thing, and I find this quite silly, right? If you are sending out your music, you have to make sure that it's the right label.
It match with music.
The label's kind of sound.
Yeah.
You gotta send that sound to that label.
Yeah.
You just can't send a techno track to a house label.
Yeah.
Or like a house track to a techno label.
Yeah.
This is what is like most people, they kind of just make a track excited and they send it to a label. No, man, you got to find like the right label. And my thing is, one track you send it to only one label.
Yeah.
Wait for 2 or 3 weeks. You get a reply.
You do the same.
I do the same. Just one label. I don't, and then I cut off all your number of plays and stuff. That's kind of. So I know I've only sent it to that label. That person has heard it, so I can see the only one heard it how many times or whatever, and that's it.
Okay.
And then if they like it, they mail me back. If they don't like it, they send a mail saying, oh, it's not. Okay, then I send to the next label.
Okay.
And maybe if 3 labels don't like it, then the 4th one I've got to do a change to the track.
Yeah.
I've got to do a completely change the track or just keep it there, just keep it in the closet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my vibe, because there are so many tracks, like I said, where in the beginning I've been rejected. Like a couple of my tracks I've sent to a couple of labels.
Of course.
And then suddenly you see, I mean, the last track which I sent was to Large Music. We sent it to a bunch of labels and no one replied to us because at that time the pandemic came in. So maybe everyone was in a little kind of weird mode.
Yeah.
But our track got we two. We released 2 EPs on Large, which was massive, and I made some money first time ever. First time ever I made some money on my EP. I'll be honest. I mean, I've released music with so many labels, but this is the first time where I actually got the whole thing, where I made money on 2 EPs. So I'm kind of. Roll that money, go and buy some music now. Yeah.
And is that, of course, I don't know if anybody's making money off streaming. I assume all the money is coming from people buying.
It's everything, right from Apple to streaming to...
You hardly make anything on streaming.
You can't.
You hardly make anything.
You hardly
make it.
Because I've got the whole list there which says, okay, Apple, this many people from this many countries.
Do you think there's been a heavy drop since the streaming has taken off in terms of people buying music?
Yes. It's completely... let's face it, the day you release your track, in an hour, it's on a pirated site. In an hour, exactly, it's on a pirate. Maybe lesser than that, it's on a pirated site.
Yeah.
And I know someone who's personally told me, he sent me a snapshot saying your track is here on this site. What do you do?
Yeah.
You can't do anything, man. You can't do anything. It was earlier, the same track which was a hit on maybe the track source of Beatport, you could make lots of money on it. You could make lots of money, but now it's not the same. Yeah, and I know a lot of producers who are saying, no, we want only a vinyl release. But even when you do only vinyl release...
Do you have a vinyl release?
No, I don't have. I'm working on just having a vinyl release on my earlier label. Like earlier releases, which I know because people have asked me, why don't you do a vinyl release? But the problem is it's a collab, so I have to talk to the label, talk to the guys who have collaborated with, and then take it from there.
Phobic has a vinyl compilation, right?
I don't know actually. No, not Phobic. No,
not Phobic. I thought I've seen, but I could be wrong.
Expensive, risky.
Yeah.
But some labels are quite set in their vinyl culture. No, what I mean is, I'm saying even the label matters, right? See, that sort of music is it makes it that much more cooler if you're on a record. Many people are buying it more. But I don't know. People say that now that, of course, we're reading that the whole record sales have gone up to what it was.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering whether, sooner or later would putting out music digitally even matter to buy? I mean, not to buy.
It's a cycle. Yeah. I feel it's a cycle.
Yeah.
Maybe next
Comes
thing you know,
back.
people want the music on.
Yeah.
If vinyl gets cheaper, people will buy music on vinyl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good EP vinyl.
Yeah.
I personally I've got a couple of classic St. John and stuff. I bought some of their stuff because I know that's good enough for everyone.
Yeah. So we are a very small community who are going and buying the music. I'm talking, if you want to now make money off your music, you need the mass to go and do it. My thing is that I don't know if the mass is going to digital stores and buying, because now everything is on Spotify. All they need to do is make a playlist, add the track.
But I think Spotify makes some money.
No, you make money on Apple Music, Spotify, and everything,
Yeah.
but
they don't pay the
fraction.
artists as much as...
It's hardly anything.
It's starting
Hardly anything.
like-
If you have 25,000 plays, maybe you may own, I don't know, 25,000.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
10.
No, I'm talking about like million, 2 million.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
How much?
No.
No,
Even
more.
millions,
More.
It's not that much. I don't know.
No. So what's happening with people like Spotify and all that? They sign different deals with the guys who are on that level, who they know that. I'm not talking about those.
Yeah.
Those guys are making a lot of money from Spotify. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like us. We have to hit so many, 1,000 plays to even make something that is even like, okay, man, I made $50 or I made $60 or $100. But my thing is that I think now people are there's far less people buying. And when I say far less people, I'm not talking the industry. Industry people like forget. You know, we all want our music. We want the right music. We want the right file. We want the thing. So even if you're not getting the promos, you're looking for it, you're buying. I'm talking the mass. I'm talking the people who are coming to the clubs. You know.
No one's buying it.
No. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. When I make a track, I'm spending at least minimum thousands around putting in there, paying the musicians. Make a track.
Do you recover? Sometimes.
I do it because I know someday, one day.
No, we all do it for that.
Yeah,
we all do it for that. We all do it for that.
Maybe one
The
day
hope,
you never know when
yeah,
will get signed.
yeah.
One track
The,
will click. So
the hope is to
now I'm doing it. I'm not even thinking.
the hope is to recover on your DJing. That's what everybody does,
exactly.
right? You're making your mark as a producer, and then you get your gigs, and
That's it.
hopefully that's where you recover your money from. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
this
yeah.
year has been.
Right down there.
So what do you think the future is? I mean, you think labels, with people like Bandcamp and all now in the picture, you think independent releases will be the future, or people are still going to be looking for labels?
I'll talk about me.
Okay.
For me, I think I'll be starting doing independent releases. Or I'll.
By the way, how
I'll be-
many tracks do you in a year you want to do? Do you aim to put out?
Okay, this year I think I released around 20
20.
tracks.
And all labels, or do you do independent as well?
No, all labels.
All labels.
All labels.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think maybe in a year or two, after I build a little bit of my name, then I'll start doing my own.
Your own.
labels. Or maybe I'll do my
Half,
own
half.
label. Or I'll do my
On
own
your label.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you already on Bandcamp?
No.
And you're not looking
Labels.
at going.
There's some labels that I signed with. They are on Bandcamp.
But on your own, you've not put
No,
out
I don't.
anything.
Not
And nothing
yet.
this year.
Not yet. No.
Not this year.
No.
And I believe you are looking at.
I'm looking because I've got so much of releases which I don't want to really send to labels anymore. I want to do as
Yeah, we were talking
Bandcamp.
earlier,
Bandcamp,
and,
yeah,
you
Bandcamp
were
is the
talking
future,
about
man.
how you want to do a different sound. By
Yeah.
the way, is that something that you're considering, where you want to do a completely different sound, experimental, and you're like, okay, I don't want to do a label, I want to do independent. Is that something on your mind?
Yeah.
That something is in your mind, yeah. Because he was talking earlier, and he was saying that he wants to put out on Bandcamp a different kind of a sound, which is cool.
Basically, I made a couple of tracks on Big.
Yeah,
Lots
yeah.
of like jazz, mellow,
Yeah.
very kind of sunset vibe tracks. And I don't want to sign these tracks because I've done this from my heart. It's like it's completely different. I don't do it. Oh, this sound has to be for this label or something. I've done it the way I want it to be done, and I want to release as an independent. And I feel Bandcamp is the future now because every big label is on Bandcamp, and now I know so many big producers and acts of like putting their music out there on Bandcamp. And I'll be honest, man, I've bought some music from Bandcamp, but I don't like the way Bandcamp to search the music, like Traxsource and Beat. That's a little tricky. That's the only problem with Bandcamp.
It's like how, if
You gotta know
if you're-
every
if
detail,
you're a-
yeah.
If you're using CDs and then suddenly somebody's saying go to Tractor, it's just a mindset.
Yeah,
Or if
yeah,
you're using
yeah,
Tractor
yeah.
and then somebody's like, okay, let's
Yeah.
start playing USB, and you're like, oh man, I have to do this.
Yeah.
I guess it's just because we are used to that format.
We are used to that format, but still, if you look at it, it's still they need to get organized, man. I'm not saying I've got some nice music from Bandcamp, but they need. And some of the other problem with Bandcamp is some of the guys who put stuff up there, it's not mastered, nothing.
Yes.
It's not mastered, nothing. Some
Yeah.
tracks sound horrible.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Some tracks sound really horrible,
But
man.
you got that's the cool thing about what I like about Bandcamp is you stumble upon some really cool
artists which you've never
guys
that's it.
which and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this guy could easily
Yeah,
have a release
yeah.
and, but he's out there, and which is so cool. But I don't know. I think as well the same thing.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Bandcamp is going to be the.
It's gonna be the future for me.
Whether it is Bandcamp or there are other.
I don't know who's coming
other
next.
people who are making it better, but I think slowly.
Two things which are gonna change music. I think one is vinyl release, which is gonna get massive because I think now everyone wants their music on vinyl. Of course, I'm longing to have my stuff coming on vinyl. And the next big thing digitally is Bandcamp. You know, I mean, because now after all these, I'm being very straightforward.
Yeah.
You look at Beatport, you got look at Traxsource. They've got their own set of people who they keep promoting. And even
And
if
that's
you
everywhere,
and
That's
and even
everywhere.
if you keep hearing the music, man, some of that is really it's crap, man. I mean, it's just because okay, these guys are really big and they can pay that kind of money there to be on that front page. So these guys are up there. But when you listen to a couple of like those front pages, there are so many artists there who've got better releases than them. So for me, I mean, it's just come to a point where I don't want to like impress anyone or something like that. I want to put my music out there at Bandcamp, and I want to put this is my sound now, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the future, like you said. Bandcamp is the future.
As much as I think Bandcamp is the future, I'm not saying that labels are going to die out. I just mean that there's going to be a lot more because you still need the labels to make your name.
Yes,
because
exactly.
you know.
Every label now, every label, if you look at, they're not putting their stuff on Beatport or Traxsource. First, they're putting it on Bandcamp. I have seen so many releases now. First thing the label puts it on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Maybe because they make the money comes directly to them. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just that
Otherwise,
you're
it's a
paying.
distributor and.
But I don't understand it. I think it's more because they just want to be everywhere. It's nothing about because they still have the same release on Beatport or they have it on
but-
Traxsource, and they are
Yeah.
still going through their distributor. They are still that distributor is taking out their money. So I think it's about being present everywhere. Because, for example, we've been talking to get Kitchen Sink on Bandcamp as well. It's just the presence because. Sooner or later, like we were talking, everybody's going to be there, and then
Everyone's
now,
going to be there. Everyone's going
and
to
then
be
if
there.
you're not there, you're kind of going to get left out because.
Sometimes you get tired sending a song to a label, waiting. It's like it is stressful at times.
Yeah.
It is stressful, you know. I mean, imagine you send a track and you're waiting for 2 weeks. And come on, man. So yeah, man. I mean.
No, we spoke to Rohan about collabs because he does a lot with live musicians and all that. So, have you done any collabs? Now, this could be not necessarily to live music. What I'm saying is it a Karim versus another producer?
Yeah, I've done a lot of.
And
a
how
lot
does
of
it
collabs.
how does it work?
So usually either I send him like maybe.
Who takes the
64.
call on who's starting off the project?
Depends.
Okay.
Depends who has like a good idea to start with.
Okay.
So if I have one, like I do like maybe 2-3 minutes of the track.
Okay.
Send him the idea. He
Okay.
will complete. Send me back.
Okay, so when you
Couple
get
of
the
times.
idea and you feel it's okay to a collab, you hit up that artist, or you're out chatting and you're like, hey man, let's do something together.
Exactly. Casually.
That's how it is.
Yeah, casually.
And
Basically, I've worked with a couple of producers from the UK. Just send scams back and forth, lots of ideas.
I have never done a collab till now, so I'm curious to know how it is.
One and a half year, I've just been in collab because I feel my music is more better when I do collab.
Okay, yeah.
Because he's putting his ideas, you're putting your ideas in there, and then
It's complete,
it's completely
yeah.
different. It sounds much more better than what you
Imagined,
you
yeah.
were doing. And when you like, I collaborated with this guy. Now it's called this kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've got a couple of tracks coming out in City soon.
Yeah.
And this is like a few months ago. I was just jamming on the 303, and I just did some stems and I sent it to Ryan Briggs' Soul project.
Yeah.
And we came up with a track called Rights in Brixton. Yeah. And just today I got a message from one of the girls in the visa. She's like, I love your track.
Nice.
So it's like we never got big mileage on the track, but it was like a proper 303 hardcore breakthrough. Just to, I mean, it just happened.
Yeah, I'm assuming that getting the right collab is like doing a back-to-back as a DJ, right? It has to be the right
Yeah.
compliments.
I actually tried like maybe I did like with 5 or 6 other producers.
Who all have you collaborated?
There's a guy who's called Who's Hush.
Okay.
He's from the US.
Okay.
Actually, the release that's going to be released today is with him.
Okay.
And there's a guy called Danny Wabbit.
Okay.
And Dryan from Italy as well.
Okay.
And a girl called Blondie.
Yes.
Not the Blondie. There's a Blondie with different
Okay, the different spelling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but still, there's some producers like it's easy to work with them, and there's some producers like different kind of stuff.
And how do
doesn't match.
how do you come about these guys? You just meet them online and you strike a conversation?
Yeah, social media. Social media.
Okay.
Most of the people I've met is through, I like their songs and I've sent them.
Exactly, yeah.
And are they quite
Very chilled out.
They're all very nice people, man.
See, 99% are really nice.
Yeah.
Maybe that 1%.
It's a jerk.
I've done I'll be honest, I've done a few collabs and I'm not happy with it, so we've kept those projects nil.
Scan.
Totally, it's lying there, we don't want to release because, to be honest, I've sent something, he's done something, and I'm like, you know what, it doesn't sound
That's
right.
not
Just
working.
leave it.
Not working.
And you have to be very direct. You don't want to release it. So it's not necessarily that every collab you have, you want to.
Yeah.
You got to work with the right kind of person. Sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't click.
But you know, the question is, does that person also understand that? Because at the end of the day, they shouldn't be like, come on, man, I put in my time. And,
Some of them will not understand, but he should. They should.
Yeah.
They should.
Have you encountered any? You don't have to name
No.
names, but have you
No,
had
no.
any? Have you had any stories?
No bad stories. No bad stories.
Everybody is being pretty
Yeah.
peaceful, and all the tracks are being put out, and you have any? I'm sure you have some stories.
I basically right now I'm working with a singer in Rihanna from Dubai, and we've done 2 tracks together.
Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully those tracks are out, and then I've worked with some musicians here, and I've just kept that project lying there. I've not touched it, so I just want to leave it there. I don't think I'll ever release it. So there are some things I want to release, something is gonna lie like that. Something maybe I may do a few changes, release on Bandcamp. Maybe. So
What is your how important do you think is today to be a DJ producer? Is it important? What is your take on it?
Yeah, man, that's very important because when you start, basically I was DJing from '93. I couldn't afford to buy hardcore, stuff to make music that time. But once I came to Dubai, I got into that kind of stuff. I bought a computer and software, whatever. So I bought Logic, and then from there, of course, my earlier productions, absolute shit.
Everybody
Shit.
has to start somewhere.
Yeah. But when you start producing, it kind of that's like a plus point to your DJing. Basically, I'll be honest with you. You're recognized. People take you more seriously.
But tell me something.
I would not be here if I was not producing. Come on. I would not be here sitting here today if I was just being DJing because I've been doing it for.
Sides to that, right?
Yeah.
I could have also just had you to play.
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
Having been the sing. But my question is, how important is it in a broad scale of your career? Like,
Man, it's producing is a big thing today, man. You have to because everyone can DJ today.
That's one side of the broad scale.
Yeah.
And how important is it to be in Dubai being a DJ producer? It's two different things. I think it's two
I'll be
different
honest with you. Last few years, now people have started recognizing
Really?
producers from. They've started taking. In Dubai.
And they are offering you, for example, you guys have good releases and things like that. So does that mean that the club is coming back and saying, okay, man, you guys are things, so I'm going to pay you more?
No, it's not that. They just take you seriously. They know you're making music, you're DJ, so they take you a bit more seriously.
You could, if you had 15 years of DJing, maybe they'd still take you seriously.
They'll take you seriously, but like I said, it just adds a little. It adds a little oof to your thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a velvet touch on top of your DJing.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
Actually, I once read something on Instagram. Like a big producer, I forgot who, was saying if you want not to be a local DJ, you need to be a producer.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
I think so too. I think so too. My what I was trying to get at is I think it's really important to make a name for yourself outside of where you're based out.
That's where you go.
I don't know if because you've been DJing over here for 15 years or whatever, people start taking you for granted. It doesn't matter whether you're producing or not. It doesn't. The clubs are not going to say, "Hey, Karim's got he's phobic, so we should give him a slot," or you should. It's never happening. No. I wish it did. Because that's the way it is supposed to happen. They're supposed to take the right person. They're supposed to take, okay, man, he's putting in more, but it doesn't happen. And I thought, in my mind as well, is that you're making a bigger name, right? For yourself with your production, and that's how it
Definitely.
I'll be honest, when I started producing, I started like, when that first track with Timmy hit number 2 on Traxos, there were so many labels, so many people who started taking it seriously, started getting in touch with you. Now from that...
Locally?
No, international.
No, international,
Locally, I don't know, I mean...
Doesn't matter.
It's just, I mean, it doesn't really, but when you do that, let's say on Traxos, your name's up there, man, people just connect with you.
Yeah,
Just
nice.
connect. So that's how my thing has built up.
Built
Right
up.
now, it's like I used to like follow these guys today. I'm chatting with these guys
Yeah,
today. I'm like, man, I literally like, I'm a big fan of Roland Knights. He's produced stuff right from the early 2000s, late 90s, and he's like great, one of the greatest deep house producers.
Yeah.
And next thing you know is like one of my tracks which is released Roland and mixed it. Then the next thing I'm collaborating, I'm doing a track. Same with City Soul.
That's
City Soul, I sent a track to him, we liked it, we released it, then next thing we did a collab, and now we did 5 tracks together.
Nice.
And then I met Karim, that's how she likes some of my stuff, she like, let's do a track together, I'm releasing 3 tracks on with her singing on it.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of, when you release a track, you're just appealing to the outside world.
yeah.
You just start connecting with the outside world, and from there you never know where you're going. Maybe you may get a gig somewhere, maybe you may get like like the whole idea is you travel a lot. So
Of course, I mean, I was traveling a little before. So, yes, of course, I'm now looking at it as traveling a lot more.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
I agree. Anyway, we're almost to the end. I just want to just ask you to get you guys both one at a time. What is your, for the people out there who are starting off producing, what would be your something to keep in mind? What is it? Because a lot of people are like, oh man, I don't want to be a producer. I need to buy this hardware. I don't.
For me, you can produce music with a laptop. With a laptop.
Yeah.
If you have what it takes in your mind, you can do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait to buy expensive things and stuff.
So is there anything that you want them to take away?
Just do it. Just start and do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. take the risk.
I'll be
Take
honest,
the risk.
When I
Yeah.
had the lease gear, I used to make better music then.
Yeah, actually.
I got so much of stuff.
Yeah.
So now what I do is I just work on, maybe I'll put a particular, like if I'm doing a particular track, okay, this is what I need. I'll just put this gear on.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's about it. And I don't try and put the whole studio on, because I've got like some 7 drum machines.
yeah.
I try and avoid that.
Actually, the
I try. So
limitation
I try
is a
just one drum
creative
machine, one
tool.
bass line, which I use my 303 mainly. I've got 2 303, so I try and make one with the lead and the absolute.
Yeah.
And one I try and keep as a bass line.
Baseline.
So my 303s are always on with my drum machine. And of course my Ableton and my push and my machine is my backbone. Like you said, your push is your backbone. For me, my push and my machine is my backbone to start with melodies and start
Definitely,
creating my grooves and stuff. So that's where my grooves come from. Push.
Yeah.
I start programming my grooves, and some, of course, I'll be honest, I still use samples sometimes.
Yeah.
And then partly, most of my melodies I start doing from the machine.
Okay.
I love the machine, but now I'm looking at something like I said, the cardboard, which is going to come.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to call you guys over to the studio one day. And I've ordered a new thing called the S2400 by Isla, the same company. It's a sampler. It's going to be the machine for 2021. Because
Nice.
now all the beta versions have gone out to the biggest producers in the world, right from Kenny Dope to you name it, to Jazzy Jeff, to everyone. And everyone's trying it. All you got to do is, it's got 8 channels, it's got everything. You can do drums, you can do bass, you can do synth, vocals, everything in there. You can sample stuff in there.
Okay.
That one machine is like a proper workstation. So that's my thing which I'm excited about, which is going to come maybe in December, maybe in Jan, as soon as they start sending out the stuff. And I'm quite excited about it, because after having all that kind of gear, now I want to get down to something different.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll be honest, the least gear you have, you make better music.
Yeah.
Like you said, you only need a laptop.
Yeah.
I agree to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need just one good drum machine or a good keyboard. And
If you limit yourself, it's a creative tool.
Yeah. You limit yourself, and the more you have, you exactly don't know what the heck you
Yeah,
want to do.
distraction.
Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Really nice having you guys chat with us about your flow, and I hope the people get some kind of an insight on how to go about things. Our main goal from this chat was, as a producer, how to go about things like start off your track, what you need, how do you go to the label, and I hope we have made some we have put out some points there for them to like it. We will drop your links, of course, in the videos, and if you guys have your YouTube channel, please do send it to us. And if you are doing like I don't know if you do tutorials or whatever, we'll be more than happy to drop it there. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and yeah, see you guys. Cheers. Cheers.